Yeah, I felt like being blingy today. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us with another Witch Times Television. I'm Goddess Rhonda, and of course, as always, we have with us our beautiful Goddess Starr.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here tonight. As you just kind of overheard for a second. We were talking about the blings that we've got on for a second.
We felt like being a little blingy today. Hope that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. And you see, I have on some extras. I have on an extra. This is from one of our beautiful goddesses on the show. Joni sent me this. Isn't it beautiful? She
Oh,
made
it's
it.
just
Isn't
beautiful.
it stunning? I had to put it on. I had to put it on. I just got it in the mail from her. She sent it to me for my birthday. Thank you, Joni. It is beautiful.
Oh,
Look at this gorgeous stone. It's a labradorite. It's awesome. Thank you.
do you know I got labradorite for my birthday from J. Key?
Oh my gosh.
How
We got
odd.
the goddesses up in here and they know what to do with us. You know what I
They know
mean?
exactly
Send
what
this
to do.
labradorite, I mean, that is stunning. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, as always, before we begin, we like to cast a circle of protection around us. All hail, our lords and ladies of the East, our brothers and sisters, our brother and patron, the sacred element of air, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is, so mote it be.
Thank you. And so mote it be. All hail our lords and ladies of the South, my brothers and sisters, my brother and patron, the sacred element of fire. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is, so mote it be.
So it is, so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the West, our brothers and sisters, our sister and patron, the sacred element of water, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is, so mote it be.
So it is, and so mote it be. Put that up a bit. All hail our lords and ladies of the North, my brother and sisters, my sister and patron and second element of earth. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is, so mote it be.
So it is, so mote it be. And we now bring down the divine white light from the sacred source of all well-being and fill all of our spaces with peace and protection always. So it is, so mote it be, and thank you.
So it is, so mote it be. Thank you. I love that affirmation with the Egyptian goddess on the top there.
Oh, well, thank you, darling. I'll
Was that
teach you a
Hathor?
little.
Was that Hathor a bit? Or was that? I couldn't tell from here. She was beautiful.
Can you
I
see her?
can't see. Yeah, now I can. Now I can. Oh my goodness, she is beautiful.
That's our beautiful Isis.
Wow, look at her.
I always decorate all of my stuff that I get. So
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's
copper and
beautiful.
crystals. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll teach you guys a little trick about getting Aptomaze. If you search under Aptomaze, you're going to pay through the nose. But if you search under letter openers, you can
Yes,
get
I do that.
every single kind of thing that you want. Whatever you want, butterflies, Egyptian stuff, anything that you want, you can get it under
And the letter openers.
and for cheap. So that's just a little frugal, a goddess Rhonda frugal tip for you. All right, so let's see what we're talking about tonight. Let me pull.
See, and I went from feeling chilly to now I'm feeling warm. So I'm going to take off this sweater that I have on. Okay.
I have to tell you, for those of you who are in the Southwest with me, it is freaking hot today.
Is it? Oh my goodness. And we went from 65, I think, today over here, and people were in shorts, to when I was coming home around 7:30. Oh my goodness, it was chilly outside. It was cold. It dropped really fast.
Our cold days.
I'm jealous of you guys with the hot weather.
Well, but you know what? It's very strange here because today it's 80 something. Tomorrow it might be 50. You just never know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. 80. It's been doing something similar to that here. Just not as drastic, but it's been doing similarly here, So I think we all have kind of having that weird up and down weather day to day. We never know what's going to come next.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So hang on, dudes. Bear with me for a moment.
Oh, yeah. And I forgot. Did I say hi to everyone in the chat room? Yes, I did. I did.
Say hello. How rude.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness. Look at everybody in there. There's a lot of you guys.
Hey, beautiful goddess.
Beautiful.
God, so good to see you. Veronica, Joni.
And Joni, yes, Joni's there. Yay, Joni, thank you. Did you see how girl, you can rap. You can do some amazing jewelry, girl. It's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. I fell in love with it.
We have our beautiful Bella and Veray. Veray, you said you can't see anything. Can you say anything now?
Okay.
Oh, wait, she's saying she's in. That's okay. I guess she was.
Can she see it? She could. Oh, she wasn't in. Oh, okay. All right.
It's okay now.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
All right.
Everyone's in. Yeah.
Everybody looks like we got everybody. We're going.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with, I come up with these random
questions, right?
And I've been reading, one of my friends wrote a book on the swing life. It's an erotica book and being a swinger and all that stuff. And I started thinking about whether or not monogamy is natural, because in his books, the couples are, they agree that you can each have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. The rules can be different, but you're allowed to have sex with other people. And so I started thinking about that because I tend to analyze everything. I can't help myself. And I started thinking, I was thinking about first the 10 Commandments. And the 10 Commandments is like, thou shalt not, kill, or blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't steal. You're not supposed to screw your wife.
Not supposed to fornicate.
No, it does not say that.
I know, I'm just teasing.
It doesn't say that. It says,
I know it doesn't.
You're not supposed to commit adultery, but it says nothing about premarital sex. And so if Moses supposedly, if you're of that particular spirituality, came down with the rules from their God, which makes no mention of monogamy, it just says, thou shalt not commit adultery. If you're married, then you're not supposed to do it according to their commandments. But it says nothing about premarital sex at all. And if we look through the ages, and I didn't have time to come up with as many examples as I wanted to come up with, but I was looking at, for example, even in the Bible, there's so much polygamy. We've got people, Abraham, he had other wives and marriages. Esau had 2 wives. Gideon had 70 sons from many wives. It's like, dang, 70, dang. King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. This is all in the Bible, mind you. Let's keep that in mind, that this is the example setting. So if all of these people in the Bible have just a million, different partners, and that's okay, it brings us to the question, is monogamy a natural state? Now we get into our own spirituality. I had a link up here, which I pray that I left up there and did not take it away. We have in our own, I was looking at Demeter, who is the mother of Persephone. She had children by Zeus, Poseidon. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly because I've never heard of this particular god, Lacian. That could be it. She had Persephone by Zeus. She had Despoina and Arion by Poseidon. She had Plutus and Philomelus by Lacian, if I'm saying that correctly. She had Eubulus and Chrysothemis by Carmenor. She had Amphithius by Triptolemus, and she had Demea by Oceanus. So she had 6 consorts that she had children with. Nobody says anything about her. Nobody calls. She's not going to be on Jerry Springer. She is allowed to do that because that was accepted.
And
then we've got Venus. Venus had mortal lovers. She had Adonis. She had Anchises. She had the Sicilian king, I think his name is Boots. I'm probably saying it wrong. Or Butes. She was married, but she also got down with Mars and had children with them. So my question is, if we look through the different, I'm sure there's more. I just did not have time to look up as many as I could. But I think that, I've given you enough examples. So my question is monogamy normal? Me personally, I say no, it isn't. I honestly don't feel like it is. I don't think it's natural to just be with one person all the time. And I also feel spiritually that we're here to learn from people. So if you feel drawn to somebody, there's a reason for that. And if you deny that, you could be missing out on a very important soul lesson that you could be missing out on. Now, I can roll on with my theories for days because I feel like I probably never should have been married. You might as well just throw me in a prison cell. I could never stand. I loved my husbands, don't get me wrong, but it was just awful, just feeling like I was trapped. And so I'm curious to know what you out there think, if you think it's normal. Now keep in mind that society has changed all that. It's like, you're supposed to, as girls, of course, men can do what they want. But us girls, we are supposed to date one person in high school, marry them, bear their children and be with them for the next 100 years or so. Or you're not a good girl. You're not allowed to be sexually independent, or people look at you askance. And so I am wondering, I feel like it is unnatural, and that I also feel like if you have to swear, if you get married, and you have to swear to God that you're going to be faithful and forsake all others, and it's going to be a fight for you, I don't think marriage should be that hard. If you have to swear you're not going to do it, something is wrong. Either you're going to be with me and stay with me and be faithful to me, or you're not. I don't want you swearing to something that you may not be able to do, or that is counter to your soul's purpose. But of course, that's just Rhonda's opinion, just my opinion. I'm just rolling. So now, Goddess Starr, I'm throwing you now under the bus.
Yes.
So what do you think?
I did not see the questions until half an hour ago. So I'm gonna kind of go with it, and I'll tell you, I'm not gonna say whether it's natural or not natural. I'll tell you, because I think in general, whatever your sexual status is, that's what's normal and natural for you. I'm not going to say whether it's monogamy or whatever is natural for each person. I think it's based on an individual thing. If you're talking past-wise, it's other than the gods and goddesses, the goddesses did whatever the hell they wanted, and they had as many consorts, as many males, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As human beings, if you check out the Bible and everything else, it's all the males that has all the females. It was not necessarily the men. If the women in any way of those 700 wives or consorts went to bed with any other person, they were killed. So they had to be monogamous to that King Solomon or whoever it was. They had to be monogamous to those men, but those men can go and have 700 wives. So
Right.
the men were not living a monogamous life. It's just the women. So that was imposed upon them, and if they found out that they were with any other men, they killed the women. So it was a double standard for a long time. So a lot of that, the Bible and Christianity, all of that is based on a very male-dominated, patriarchal kind of situation there. And even now, with the Mormons or the Hasidics or the different ones, whatever it is that they all are, that Amish, this whole thing about more than one wives or whatever it is, whoever the groups
Right.
are, there's many of them that have it to today, and they're all going by the Bible. These were books. The Bible was written by a males. And it of course, it's going to be based on what their thoughts were and what their mindset of what sexually was done. So if they'll put all those stories in there because it was based on them, they didn't put one female as to having many. And if they did, they stoned her or they killed her because she was considered a slut. So even to today, if you bring it forward, even to today, if you have a woman like that, they do a couple of things with it. Either she's a slut or a whore, or she's into kink. There's nothing kinky about any of it. It's just a sexual preference of what turns you on, what gets you there. So they make it into something that's in a way forbidden. That's why they call it the kink lifestyle or the different things. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just a matter of people's preferences and what their likes and dislikes are, what gets them there. So I honestly don't think any of it is wrong or right. I mean, or wrong per se, not it's not right. I think that it's whatever, to each his own. I am never going to judge anyone on that because it's not my right. Your sexual preferences or your gender preference or whatever it is, none of that is our business because it's supposed to be something private, and your choices without society looking in on everyone and deciding what's right or not right for them. I think in some ways we are in Europe, the people are more open to a lot of what they consider normal, and where America calls it more kink than there. You know what I mean? I think it's just a matter of learning to accept who we are as human beings and the sexual nature of what we are and our different choices. I mean, it's our choice. It's not your choice as to what we are feeling and not feeling. So whatever, if you might be feeling trapped in that monogamous relationship and want to go otherwise, but then others are quite happy in that monogamous relationship. So you know what I mean? It's I've seen both sides of it, and I think it's beautiful watching people with their different relationships and how they make it work. Some work beautifully, some do not. Some blow up in people's faces. I think a lot of it is based on how honest they are with each other and what rules they've set within their own grouping with themselves as to how they will deal with it. So that way no one has any ill feelings or jealousies or anything like that. At least that's just my opinion on it. I think, again, our choices are our own personal preference. I am very monogamous. I am not, that's just not me. I mean, I don't know myself outside of that. I don't see myself being different than that, but who knows? Maybe I've not been in the situations to try differently. I don't know. But again, to me, is to each his own.
I do want to say I'm trying to find it and I can't. I should have looked it up before.
What's that? What did you do?
There was a rap song where, in their own way, this group, and I'm not quite sure who it is. I was trying to find it with the lyrics, but I can only remember one part of the lyrics. I can't find it, so I won't bother. But in their own way, they were complimenting independent women, and they say in the song, because they're talking about a sexually independent woman who, she's about her business, she owns a house, she's got her stuff together, and she does what she wants to do sexually.
Yeah, you got your own shit going on.
And they say part of their lyrics is, she's not a hoe, she's a bad bitch. I know that's not nice, but it's in their way, in their rap song lyrics way, they're trying to
compliment that person. But that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's just, I don't like the double standard of it. I really, really don't. And I don't think, I think there is this whole stigma that I see where the men do this thing about, yeah, I'm bad to the bone. I got this many women or whatever. I've heard them. And then the women will call themselves slut and all these things. These are the things there's no word to hold on to claim that. I'm sorry. That's not a claiming, because those words were meant to shame and ridicule the woman because of her choices, not the males. So the males claiming a name that they're proud of is one thing. That's nothing to be proud of. You're not a slut. You're not a whore. You are a woman who are all of that. You're that, you know, that term that they used to have for women back. What virgin meant was that they were not married.
Right.
But these women were, um, were not married, but they had their own homes, their own everything, and they had their own sexual preferences, and they did whatever. And they were not sluts or whores or any of those things. They were just women who were walking around being the elegant people that they are, very welcome in who they were. They will never defame themselves and call themselves sluts or any of those things, because those are the terms men gave women to put them down. So there's nothing, some women go, well, I'm just claiming the word because I am better than that. No, you cannot take something that someone meant to demean you with for your preferences and say you're claiming it. There's nothing to claim there. Claim who you are. If you're really claiming who you are as that person with your sexual right to be who you are, then I am going to bloody well badass claim it. I am who that I am, and I can be with whoever I want to be, and I am not a slut. I am just as much as you are. And they don't call themselves sluts or whores or those names. They just being a man. Well, you know what? We are just being women. Simple.
Well,
At least that's how I see it.
And I think, and you're absolutely right. And I also want to point out that through history, I follow much of the fertility goddess tradition, and there's a great book. It's called Venus, the Evolution of the Goddess.
Okay.
And in that book, you're going to find that back in the olden days, back with Inanna and the fertility goddesses, but particularly with Inanna was a sex goddess. She was a fertility goddess, and as you know, a lot of people, I was explaining this to someone a couple of days ago, because people have the belief that the fertility goddesses, all they did was help you to have children. And that is not true. The fertility gods and goddesses, yes, they did put that energy into the people, because back then, you didn't really have money. Your prosperity was based on how many crops you could bring in to feed your family. And if you only had one kid, you could only work a little piece of land. But if you had 10 kids, you could work a whole lot. That's where the children part of it got ascribed to it. But more importantly, they took that orgasmic energy and they put it into the earth in order to help the earth provide that food and the crops. It was more about providing that for the earth. They also, because sexual energy, they practice sacred sex. And sexual energy is the strongest energy there is. It's so strong that the warriors would go and have sex with the priestesses in order to power up to go into battle and to win the wars. And so what happened with that, and by the way, the name of those priestesses were called Hars, which is very similar to the word whore, but they were called Hars. And it was quite the status to be a Har. That was quite the thing. You were really up there in the upper echelons to be a Har. Well, what happened was the Akkadians came in, which is a very macho society, and they took over and they forced the priestesses to have sex with them and then threw money at them, threw coins at them. And that is where the getting money for sex came from. But sacred sexuality, back then, the women had sex with lots of men and with warriors to fuel them up. They had sex with the priest to put the energy into the earth so that it would grow. So the fertility gods and goddesses were about war because they need sexual energy to fight. They were about, creating life, but mainly plant life, crops, things like that, and children. there was a lot to them. But the sacred priestesses, they were looked upon as, practically royalty because they had that sexual energy, and men would do anything to have sex with them to get that power. And they did give power to the warriors. It just got ruined because
of course.
came
Someone else took it and made it into something else.
and they turned it into something else and basically raped those women and then threw like coins at them or things like, oh, here, that should make you feel better or whatever. So that's where all that came from. So, but prior to that, sacred sexuality, especially with women, that was okay. And if you read all of the mythology about the gods and the goddesses, even though they were all married, they all had consorts or concubines or lovers or whatever you want to call them, and children with them. And their partners didn't seem to mind that, having a kid from this guy or that guy. It was accepted. It was considered a natural thing. And so I think that we have allowed society to corral us as women. Because like I said, men can say, my sister watches this show called Blackish, and she sends me these little clips of it. It's pretty funny. I wish I had time to really sit and watch it.
What's
but
it called?
The show, it's called Blackish.
Okay.
And I can't remember what channel it comes on, but you can watch it online. And in one of the clips, the husband and wife, they have sons and daughters. I can't remember how many kids they have. It's not important. But anyway, the father found out that the high school son, was having sex. And he was like so excited for his son. He's like, yeah, my son, he's having sex. He's doing all this stuff. Yeah, my son, he's a man now, And his wife said, well, our daughter, they have a daughter in college. And she says, our daughter's having sex too. And he got so depressed. Like, what? What do you mean? You can't have sex. And he's telling his friends. His friends are like, yeah, she's damaged goods now, man. I don't know. And meanwhile, the wife is like, what's with double standards? It's okay for our son to go out there and have sex, but you're acting like your daughter, is a streetwalker or something. He was so upset about that. And it's interesting to me how we have allowed society to corral us into these little ideas that make no sense whatsoever. If it is natural for men to go out and have sex with as many partners as they like, and everybody's like, yeah, you're my hero, you score another thing on your belt or whatever, and then they'll look at a girl and say, oh, she's had sex with like 3 guys or 4 guys already, yeah, she's a slut, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, well, what about the 300 women you just said you had sex with? What does that make you?
And not only that, but what about those women?
What about those women?
Somebody's daughters or whatever, too.
That's right. There's somebody's daughter, somebody's sister.
Yeah.
You didn't think about that when you were having fun.
No. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm trying to say, because it's a double standard world. And, no, it's not your daughter's being a woman. She's being a woman. Yeah. No, all of a sudden.
Exactly.
This is what I mean. The wording that they used for it. She's being a woman and he's being a man. If he's being a man, then your daughter's being a woman. Right. Kind of a thing. And that double standard is what I do not like. That part is what I do not like and I do not agree with.
I don't like that either. And I've seen women persecuted. I had a friend and she had 3 children. She was married twice. She had a child with each of her husbands. And then the third person she lived with and had a child with. And she said so many people looked down on her.
Yeah, they do.
She had 3 kids from 3 different fathers.
And guys, yep. Mm-hmm.
All that really means is you had sex 3 times. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that, first of all, not that it's anybody's freaking business.
Business, yeah.
Because you do not have to validate yourself to anybody, as far as I'm concerned. But still, people gave her a hard time and she felt bad about it. I said, do not feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that. You did nothing wrong. But I think it's time for us as women to step up and claim our right to do what we want to do.
Well, not only that, It's just that, unfortunately, if you look at the people denouncing these women and going at them, majority of them are females. The fact that even one of them would say something horrible about it and go at the female is what gets you, because you feel like if that woman is a traitor. At some point, these women's minds have been turned into what the male's aspect of what it should be, and they're not supporting the women, and they will go ahead and they themselves call them these names and say these things about them, and as to me, as long, I mean, I don't care, as long as you are in your own right, you can manage yourself and you're supporting yourself and your kids. Whose business is it of theirs to say whatever, but they do. And majority of them speaking ill about them are women. That's the sad part about it, that it's women. Women look down when women, and when women are doing it against a female, another woman, that's when it hurts the most. That's when it hits home. And that's when a lot of the women are like, wow, because the majority of times the men don't give a shit. The men are not the ones saying it. It's the women. And that's the part that's hard to take.
And I have a personal example, and then we'll read our comments in the chat rooms. I know you guys have plenty to say about this, I'm sure. But just to give you a personal example, before I came out of the broom closet, I was engaged to a minister, believe it or not. And in church, he was this great, wonderful, charismatic guy. Behind closed doors, he was controlling and jealous. And eventually he did try to kill me. But anyway, before that happened, just to show you how people are, when I started going to that church with him, the women there like totally rejected me. I was much younger than they were. There were a lot of them were older. They all assumed, I guess, I was going to go chase their husbands or whatever. Not that I wanted any of them. But they were really mean to me. Like I would go, they would do things on, like after church on certain Sundays, they would cook, everyone would bring food, and I would go in the kitchen, say, can I help? They'd literally throw me out of the kitchen. They would take the food that I brought and then told me they didn't need my help in a very nasty way. They were very nasty to me. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, one day he physically attacked me. And then he went back to church and told the entire church that I was having sex outside in my neighbor's driveway, where the whole world could see me, of course. He made up this
goodness,
ridiculous story that made no sense. And they used that. They grabbed that so quick to shun me. That's actually how I came out of the closet. After that, I was like, fuck this. I'm not even going to even try anymore. I am what I am. I'm going to be what I am. And if they're going to reject me, I'm going to go ahead and be the witch that I am. So actually, they did me a favor. But they were so quick to believe this man because
of course
he was a minister. So of course he had to be telling the truth. And here I was, this young chippy. So I must be a slut, just like he said that I was. He told everybody that's what I was. And they all hated me and turned against me. And so, when you go through something like that, that's really a hard thing when you are shamed and called. And I didn't even do anything. That's the whole thing. At least if I had done something, I didn't do anything. But that was his story. And I had that happen to me in a Christian church, the last Christian church that I ever stepped foot in.
They can all go choke on it. Sorry, but they can all go choke on it. Choke on there.
But and I said we were going to do the chat room, but there's something else that I've taught in my fertility goddess classes, is if you notice, when men sit, they sit with their legs open. Their legs are sprawled open because that sexual energy, like I said, is very powerful. That's the groin chakra. And so it's almost their way of claiming a room. We are taught as women, sit with your legs closed, because they want us to contain our power. If you want to freak a guy out, go into a room and sit with your legs open and watch the energy that fills the room. It actually intimidates them, and they don't know what to do. They literally.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. There are many times that I've seen women, they don't even know they're doing it when they open their legs or whatever. It's not that I'm saying, to me, they should close their legs then, because what I'm seeing the men do is not nice. the men are actually leering and poking at each other and going, look at her up her crutch and stuff. I'm like, you know what I mean? They're not doing it.
Like 5-year-olds.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, to me, it's like, don't give your power to these idiots. You know what I mean? There are many places that you can do it or whatever it is, and no one gives a shit. But a lot of them are disgusting men if they're calling themselves men.
Mm-hmm. They are.
So I'm not going to give any of them that or condone any of them with that. You know what I mean? So, but you're right, and a lot of them do it, and I'm sitting there going, I'm sorry, but half the time I kind of look at them and I want to say, you know, is your penis that big? We all know if you have to open your legs that much, you do not have that much, because I have met many men who are really big. They don't have to open their legs like that, and they're just fine. Okay, I'm done with that part.
No, I want to hear about all these many men that are really big that you've met. I mean, do you have any phone numbers?
I don't know, but see, one of them was my husband, and I'm sorry, but he used to sit just fine. Okay, and I was cool with what he had, so I'm good. But no, I don't have their numbers. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It hurt to ask.
And I gotta get a hold of some of them. I'd be like, But anyways.
Well, don't forget, guys, we're going to be doing. Don't forget, we're going to be doing our, look at the calendar first, our Sexy Sage in Crone show on May 4th. So
yeah,
just
Friday
guys,
night.
Getting our sexy on at midnight. So bring your margaritas and put on your lingerie.
Sexy lingerie, and we're going to talk dirty to us.
Sex, totally. But in the meantime, let's see.
Sex, baby.
What have we got going on in our chat room, Goddess Starr?
Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can go up to the top here. Okay. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, I'm trying to get to the top of it. Okay, everyone said hi. Oh, you look both beautiful. Bella Crone said, oh, thank you. Thank you so much, you guys all. I'm sure very lovely yourself. And you're welcome. That Joni, thank you so much, Han. She said thank you. And Joni, they were complimenting your stone, that the jewelry that you sent me. They're saying very stunning. And Bella Lacrone said, thank you for the great tip, Goddess Rhonda.
You are so welcome, and thanks everyone for saying how pretty we look. We try.
Yeah. Let's see. Bella Lacrone said we're finally having some nice days, but rain comes back on Thursday. Oh, right. And Joni said it looks beautiful. Yes, it does look beautiful on me, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I put on everything. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Kiki Stars says, hola chicas, newcomer here. Very glad to get to sit in with you. Yay, welcome, Kiki Stars. We love having you here. Veronica says, yes, but the polygamy was always in favor of the men. That's what we were saying. Yes, right, Veronica. You are absolutely right. It was very much mostly favored with the men, especially written in the Bible. And of course, Veronica and everybody in here, we all love welcoming everybody that's new. So they said, welcome to Kiki. Let's see.
Welcome, Goddess Kiki.
Yay. Let's see. I think Raven33 Abel said, I think it's possible but you have to work at it. Yes, you do. She said, I myself prefer to be one with one person. And then Bella Lacrone said, I think whatever you comfortably have, 100, whatever you're comfortable with. You can have 100 lover or one is your business, no one else's. Yes,
right.
Absolutely right, Bella Lacrone. And then Veray says, no, I don't believe that it is natural to be with only one person forever. I agree with you, Goddess Wonder, 100%.
Goddess.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing. We're not saying for forever and ever. I think in each time, like I think what worked for my husband and I was beautiful. And that was it. Let's see. Raven33 Abel says, although I don't believe in marriage, then Orchid Girl 05 says, I believe in to each their own. Yes, we do believe that. And Goddess Bella Lacrone said, yes, Goddess Starr, it's just no one's business. It's all what feels right for you.
That's right.
And Veronica says, exactly, Goddess Starr. And then Kiki says, I feel all religions were written for men by men. I
How about
believe
that?
that too. Which is why a lot of there were so many dictating things about what women should and shouldn't do, where they should sit, where they should walk, how they should dress. Ay, vey. Let's see. And then Joni says, I think to each their own. And then Arlene says, hey, everyone, I'm finally here. I had to chime in regarding some of what Starr says was regarding the word slut. Arlene said, yes, it was used to shame and ridicule, but so was the witch. At one time, a slur. Well, I'll correct you on that one little part. At one time, the word that. What it became afterwards was a slur because they wanted to get rid of the witch by, again, the males. So,
Yeah.
yes, it became a slur after. When you're reclaiming something to call yourself, is because at one time that was looked up to. The word slut was from the very beginning, like when I forgot what the name of the group of men that came in, and when they used the women like that and they called them that and they threw money at them, that was meant to demean them in that way. It was never a word to look up to. Reclaiming something that was, I mean, that's to eat. If that's how you want to think of it, then more power to you. But that, to me, as a black person, when a lot of the young blacks are saying nigger and stuff like that these days, they're talking about claiming a word. No, it never was a word that was meant to be a good word. It was meant to demean you and put you down from the very beginning. So it's not something that I would want my son or any that one that I look up to call themselves. Because the word itself meant a lowly thief. At least that's how I see it. So, that's just my opinion on that. But I think to reclaim a word, it has to be something that was at one time meant for you to look up to. The word slut was not. But if that's what you choose to call yourself, then more power to you with it. You could be with many sexual partners. If the men are not calling themselves those words in a demeaning manner, why would you do that to yourself? It's like empowering them to say the things about you, or me empowering a person to call me nigger. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not empowering to me. I will not be called that. That's just me. What do you think, Goddess, before I move on?
No, I was just looking up. You know how I am. So I had to look up the original definition of slut. And I remembered a long time ago it meant that you had untidy habits.
Right.
And sometimes I'll look around like my brother's like, dang, I'm a slut today because I did not clean, because that's what it meant.
Right.
But there's also, which I didn't know, that men are also referred to as sluts because they have the earliest reference in the Oxford English Dictionary, supplies for slut as an adjective. In Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, he said, why is thy lord so sluttish? And he was talking about the man's disreputable appearance. And so it has many, many meanings to it.
Terms,
The things have changed, but it used to mean that you were a bad housekeeper, basically. And now I don't know how they turned that into.
I am not even going to go there with that one.
Well, that's what I said. I guess I'm a slut because I don't get to clean all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I just had to. I was trying to remember what that original.
Yeah. Unfortunately, today when they say it, they're talking about a woman, mostly a woman, and they're meaning in a demeaning manner to ridicule and stuff like that. And it never was. To me, even if it were meant untidy or dirty or messy, it still was not meant originally as a word to be empowering. So yeah, I can be, honestly, I would just call myself messy or untidy. I cannot see myself calling myself that, but to each his own,
To each his own. So that's all I wanted to say. So go ahead with our comments.
Okay. Then Arlene said, I personally have no issue with considering myself a slut, as I'm a very sexual person. And yes, I have sex with more than one man. Again, that's okay, having a sex with, you can have 1,000 men. It doesn't mean, that. But, again, if that's what you wish to call yourself, hey, man. And then Bella Lacrone says, you go, girl. And then Arlene said, thank you, Bella Lacrone. Then I need to get back on the horse.
Yes, you need to come to
it's a case of like, I was watching Private Valentine last night, with Jessica Simpson. And at the end of the movie, the woman was saying, she said, "Can I give you a hug?" Jessica Simpson said that to those other sergeants, and she said, "No, that this is all reserved." And she looked back, and it was a guy. And Jessica Simpson turned to her and go, "You go, girl, get back on that horse." And she said, "You know it." And I'm like, you know what? Get back on that horse, hey man. You know,
get back on that horse.
Yeah, do what you have to do, man. See, now a lot of men don't like when you say that, get back on the horse, because they're like, wait a minute, you're calling me a horse? So you know what I mean? I'm like, hey man.
Hey, you know what? If I'm calling you a horse, that's a compliment, okay?
Yeah, right.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, because hey man, I'm not gonna say the words, but you know what we're thinking.
What we're saying. You know what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And then Veronica said, geez, for a millennia, men didn't even know they had a part in creating life. That is so true. That? There's a great book, When God Was a Woman. I have not read that one, but I've heard about it. And then Bella Lacrone says, you're welcome, Arlene. And then Arlene said, there used to be a temple, prostitutes for the Jewish temple who raised money for the temple. Yeah. Well, yeah, I live among a lot of Jews here. So if I'm going to say anything, I don't think that was a good thing in that sense, because yeah, they did it for a good cause. But I honestly, some of these women are forced into situations they're not meant to be. So I don't know if that's a good thing necessarily. I'm just saying, knowing what I know about the Jewish temples here and the Jewish people. I could be wrong, but from what I have heard here, even from some of the Jewish women that have told me things in this neighborhood, it's what, they're forced into things that they're not meant to do or want to do. So if I don't know what situations they were in when they did that. So I don't know. I can't speak for that. And I don't know if you know what situations they were in when they were if they were forced or not. And then Arlene said, in China, there's a tribe of women who have no husbands but lots of lovers. Yay for them. Ooh. That's
right. Yay for them.
Yay for them. Actually, there's not just in China. There's a few places around the world that there are a lot of women like that. A lot of there's a tribe of women that have only women, and they have lots of kids, and they don't have men in their area at all, I guess, except to come and have kids with them, or to provide for them to have the means of a kids kind of thing. And then Eclectic Goddess. Oh, hi, Eclectic Goddess. I haven't seen you in a while. ABC, I think she was thinking about what you were looking for.
Yeah, that show, Blackish.
That show, yeah. And then Joni said they use the excuse that it's the girl who can get pregnant, and that if she has multiple partners, a man doesn't know who the father is. Therefore, religious people justify the double standard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a load of crap. Sorry.
Yeah. And then, but I agree with you. You are absolutely right. They do use all of that. They use whatever they have to use because somehow, that's what it is. And then Veronica says, some women are so insecure they need to belittle other women. You're darn right, they do. Because for some reason, like you said, they're so insecure. And then Veronica says, manspreading. And then Arlene said, exactly, Veronica, Arlene said. And then Jasmine Moonglow said, she said, BB, Goddess, Rhonda, and Starr. Hi, Jasmine Glow. Good to see you. One. Yeah. Don't forget to put some Marvin Gaye on the turntable. Absolutely not. That's one of those ones that you have to do when you're getting into that mood, right? Absolutely. And then Jasmine Moonglow also said, Armenia and had female prostitutes whose role is to purify the seeds of the male. There you go.
I love that.
Yeah. And then Arlene said, I do love that labradorite. Yeah, isn't it beautiful? She did such a wonderful job. And then Joni says, haha, my silly ex-husband used to say he had to sit that way because he was so well endowed.
Wow.
That he couldn't close his legs. Yeah, right. I told you. That's what these men say. Well, I have a lot here and stuff like that, and they sit like that. I'm like, please, if you have to actually do that and carry yourself like that, it means you got very little to work with. At least that's how we see it. And then Kiki said, LOL. And then Sassy Moxie 2 said, what do you recommend for a 50-plus goddess to do to find playmates?
Oh, you have to come to our Sexy Sage and Crone show to get that answer.
We're going to be doing a lot of talking. And if you guys have any ideas when you're in our group, Put it up there. Let us find out all the things because we're going to mention it all at the show.
Yeah, because since you asked that question, we'll include that of where can we find. So now I need you to define for me though, goddess.
What was that?
Just a playmate, or are you looking for a partner?
Playmate. She said playmate, girl. She wanted many.
Oh, good for you. Okay, I think we can hook you up.
I saw an S at the end of there, so I'm saying she wants playmates.
I think we can hook you up.
Yes, we're gonna. So any information other than what we find, please let us know in the group, and we will add that into the list of things we're gonna add on the Sexy Cronin show. Okay. Let's see, and then Jasmine Glow said, so we'll answer you that when you come back, Sassy Moxie. And then Jasmine Moonglow said, I like what Katharine Hepburn says. Sometimes I wonder if men and women really suit each other. So perhaps they should live next door and just visit now and then.
See, I'm all for that. You have your house, I have my house.
Right. I love that part. I do. I love having my own space and then get the hell out. Sorry, but I want you to get the hell out so I can have my peace of mind after.
Exactly.
And then Jasmine, so I love that. Thank you, Jasmine Moonglow. I love that, and I love Katharine Hepburn. I always loved her.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. And then Jasmine Moonglow said, technical difficulties tonight with streaming tonight. Is it me? I have DSL. I don't know, hon. I think we're fine. I hope everybody's seeing us fine. If you have any, let us know if you're seeing anything different than what we're seeing. Then Arlene said different temples back then to today. Okay. So I don't know. I honestly, a lot of women were forced into things back then, and they still are today.
Yes.
They were forced into things does not mean it was okay. Because honestly, if they wanted to raise money that much, why have these women? Oh, goodness. I didn't plug in. Hold on 1 second. It's saying low battery. That I don't want it to shut off on me.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, wait a sec.
Yeah. I thought I had plugged in. Okay. Here we go. Phewie. Thank you. It's a good thing it gives you a warning before it just kind of goes, right? Yeah, so let's see. Different temples back then to today. Yeah, I gotta tell you, with a lot of research I've done, it happened back then and it happens more now. They just find ways to hide it more now. Whereas back then they let it all out. They didn't care who knew or didn't know. So a lot of things, for some reason, women were victims for a long time, the weaker sex, I guess, as people think it. But it doesn't mean that we should be condoning it, though. All right. And then Eclectic Goddess said, hello to both of you. Great. Yeah, thank you, Eclectic. We love having you here. And Jasmine Moonglow said, I was reading John Wick's, former Lord Mayor of London's essay on woman, a parody of Alexander Pope's essay on man from around 1755. Huh, okay. And I think that's it. Oh, wait, something else was just said. Sassy Moxie 2 said, I think this may be a great way to vet for a companion. Ooh, okay. At least I won't be stuck fooling around with that one dud.
That's right.
There you go. I know, because you do not want to see some of the things that we've all seen and had to go, okay, you just need to leave. Did that when I was younger. I don't want to waste my time anymore. I think when you hit a certain age, I think we have a tendency. I think that was the last of it. I don't know about you, Goddess Rhonda, but I think as you get older, you have a tendency to come up with things that you're like, okay, I am not settling anymore. I've literally said no more limpy dick, no more. Forget that I said that, but I did say it, and it's the truth. So, I am like, I'm almost at the point where I'm like, when I meet you, if I like you, drop your pants. Let me see first before I go any further. I am not wasting my time. I need to know your height. I need to know all of it, because I remember meeting a guy on a date from Plenty of Fish. And he said he was, what did he say? He was 5'11". I met the person. I am 5 feet tall, and we were eye to eye, and he had on like platforms. Okay. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he was a firefighter. So I believed him, I'm like, Okay, when I met him, I said, I don't think this is going to work. I need to leave right now. And he's like, but what? I said, you have on platforms and you're the same height as me. There's an issue. I'm sorry. We all have our issues and we all have our likes and dislikes. And I'm done with it. I am, as of this month, April 19th, I am 58. I am not dealing with the things. I'm not settling. I need to have what I want. And if you don't have it, walk away.
There you
Or
go.
I will embarrass you. Walk away. Because I'm going to say it. I'm going to state the facts and tell you it's not going to work. And if you ask me why, I may tell you, so you may not like it.
You are so freaking funny.
But you know what I mean? We women have been taught to settle for so long. If the guy likes you, go along with it. In the meantime, we're going, buddy, not that great. I have to teach him how to be greater or whatever it is. We're done with that shit at certain ages. We're like, no. This is what I want. If you cannot meet that, no, walk away. Or you will be embarrassed. And I think we have the right to say that. Stop being nice. It's the reason that a lot of us get in trouble because we're being too nice. And men are taught not to be, right? They walk away. So
exactly. And I also think we need to raise our standards.
Yes, please do.
We need to raise our standards. I remember a woman that I worked with. She's trying to set me up with somebody, and I really wasn't interested. And he told her, she told him about me, and he came back and he said, tell her that I have my own teeth and I smell good. And I'm like, really? That's all he's bringing to the table is teeth and men's cologne. That is what's supposed to lure me in. I was so insulted.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. See, I would get up and I would be I'm not kidding. And you know what I do now too? A lot of them come at me like that and they're meeting me and I'm like, okay, first of all, you're on the bus with me. That right away is a strike one. You do not have a car. Why are we talking? I literally say that to them. Well, can I give you my number? No. Why? Because I'm not going to call you. This is straight as the facts. So I am not going to call you. So I am not taking it. I don't want your number. Don't talk to me. You're on the bus with me. No. Okay. So no, not talking to you. Have a car. I'm sorry, but that's just my part. You may like for someone on the bus with you. I don't.
And you know what? And you're entitled. You're entitled.
Exactly. If you cannot, unless you can tell me you've got a nice, and it can't just be a car. I'm sorry. If I like a big badass Jeep, yeah. And see, now I go into the little nitty gritty things. I am so picky, you would not believe it. I don't care if I'm picky either. I really seriously don't care that I'm being picky. Because that's just me at this age, because I'm done. I don't want to settle for anything. If you have to come, and I am not an income, everything. I'm like, no. Because I don't want to provide for anybody. I have my own home, my own everything. No. I don't want you coming to me for something then. No. Don't. See, that's how I see the person on the bus. You're coming to me for something that I have. No, not happening. And a lot of us women, we have a lot to offer. So why should we settle for anything less than what's better for us? Right. You have to bring to the table something that's better than where we are so we can take each other to a better place. Right. Why are we bringing ourselves down? And a lot of these men, I am sorry, but we're taking ourselves backwards to what we when we were younger. No, why would you do that to yourself? I am sorry. Nope, I don't want your number. Don't want your number. I am not. Why? Because I'm not going to call you. It's the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. At least you're always going to know I'm telling you the truth, because I am not ever going to call you. And I have no problem saying it now. I look at them dead in the face and I say it. And then they stand there with their mouths hanging open, wondering what to say next. I'm like, it's the truth. I'm not going to call you. I'm not even going to put it in my bag. I don't want your card. I don't want your number, because I feel like I'm being infected. I have a hygiene issue and I'm like, nope. I don't want your card.
You are so funny. You are so freaking hilarious.
And I'm saying it too. Arlene has heard me. I say it. I don't care. Because men do it to women all the time. The only thing is they do it behind our backs. They do it behind our backs and they tell the guy, yeah, I'm just with her for whatever. No, I will tell you to your face because I'm done. we don't have to settle because I'm so better than that, and I am worth so much in my eyes and in my head. So if you are, you know, like, remember that movie, I forgot what it was, where you say I feel pretty or whatever it is. You only are as pretty as you think you are. You're only worth as much as you think you are. And all of it is based on where you have elevated yourself to be. So your worth to anybody is as best as you give it. So if you're saying I am worth this, then I'm sorry, they have to either accept it or walk away.
Right.
If you can't meet that, hey man, then it was never meant to be.
Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else we're talking about tonight. All right, so we also
Oh
have
my goodness. In that little time, we have so many more comments. You want to read them or you want to go on?
Wait, hold on. I have to go back to that. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Wow, you guys are getting down over there. Okay, let's see. Sassy Mox. Okay, we've got that one. And then she says, Sassy Moxie, not having to protect my reproductive rights. That's right. You don't have to.
Yep.
What you do is your business.
Yep.
Arlene says, Starr, not too big or too small. Eclectic Goddess is laughing her freaking ass off. Good for you, Eclectic. Kiki says, high five, no settling. That's exactly right. Arlene says, Starr, I remember you telling me, what are you going to do with that thing, both for too big and too small?
Damn right.
And we have Goddess Jennifer saying hello.
Hi.
Oh,
good to have you
Wi-Fi
here,
went
Goddess
crazy.
Jennifer.
Okay, she had a hard time. She couldn't get back on. She's back on now.
Okay, okay.
Mary Me, Goddess Peggy, nice to see you here. And
Yeah.
I think that, oh, wait, nope. Let's see. Okay, then we've got, let's see. Peggy says, haha, straight up got a star. And Joni says, I had a woman at an event come to me and belittle a beautiful woman. And when I defended the beautiful woman, the other one was offended that I didn't agree and join in. She never spoke to me again.
Ha Come on, Joni.
Party. Good for you.
Girl,
And I want to
Joni,
make it.
I applaud you, Joni.
I
That's
applaud
my
you,
girl.
Joni.
That's my girl. I know Joni in person. I met her at Hex Fest last year in New Orleans. And you rock on, Goddess Joni. Woo! I am so proud of you because that's the kind of woman I know her to be. She will step up and defend. Well, you know what? That's one of the women that I am sorry until she learns to be the goddess that she's supposed to be and back us up and stop being that traitor to us. Then, I'm sorry, but you, Goddess Joni, good for defending the woman.
And I'm right there with you. If I hear another woman shame another woman, she is so sorry that she said anything like that to me.
Yep, I'm going to defend that woman. Sorry.
Right out at the
I'm
knee.
tired. I am so tired. We are tired of seeing women being demeaned, especially by women, the most. Enough.
Right.
Learn to honor them and respect them for who they are as one another and nothing else, because men pat each other on the back a lot and they will defend that other man. So what happened to us along the way? Have we lost ourselves so much? Just wondering. Okay, what's our next topic, babe? Because I think that was it.
Because it's what you're saying is true. So please, if you hear someone shaming another woman, by all means, take that person out. Just cut them off at the knees.
I love Jody for that.
Because I don't like that, and I don't go for it, and I'm not even trained. I think all of us as women can say, truthfully, that we have been hurt more by other women than we have by men.
Yes. I remember last year in New Orleans, one of us was being looked upon and said not so nice things. And I am sorry, but the two men that were saying anything, the looks that they got from all of us, they ran away like really squirreling away because we all turned on them like, don't try us. All of us turned on them. And we were like, don't even try it. We will hurt you.
Happily. And then go have lunch.
All of us. And they walked away because we were like, walk away. You will get hurt by us women. We are not doing it. This is us together. So there. All
right. So our next thing is, should we, and I know not everyone goes on likes the title pagan, but I didn't know whatever title to use, have their own banks. Now let me tell you why I posed that question. I was looking when I scour the internet looking for ideas and things to talk about randomly. And one of the things that I happened upon was a group of people complaining about you know how now we have people can take cards. We've got Square, PayPal, all these things where you
Oh,
can
yes,
swipe.
yes, yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Well, if you're a psychic or doing any kind of metaphysical
Oh,
work,
right, right, right. Yes.
these people are being rejected
Yep.
by the card companies because they're a psychic or because they're a witch or whatever it is. And so one person had said in the discussion, because it was in a forum, and one person had said, well, the reason they do that is, they're afraid they're not going to like the candle, or they're not going to like the reading or whatever it is, and they're going to want their money back. And then someone else, though, pointed out, because now from what I understand, Etsy doesn't allow it anymore. Although I know people that sell stuff on Etsy, maybe they're wording it differently. Maybe they're not calling it a witch item or a magic item. Maybe they're coming up with some kind of other wording for it. But I know that eBay, you're not supposed to do like spells or readings or things like that. And now the card holders are getting on board with that, rejecting, like if you're doing that kind of work, they're rejecting you. And so someone else had pointed out, yeah, they're not letting witches sell their candles and sell their things, but they're letting Christians sell holy water and, candles with their crosses on it, Christian items that if we were to sell the witch equivalent, we wouldn't be allowed to, but they are allowed to. So we've
Wow.
got that double standard going on. And so they're saying how more and more people, more and more of these card processing companies are tightening the screws against witches and people who do that sort of work, not allowing us to be able to take cards, which really cripples us.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, well, I can't use that, that processing company, that really cripples us as business people. A lot of us make our living selling our crafts and doing,
Yeah.
doing our readings or healings or what all we all do as witches. And so because they're tightening, according to this forum, they're tightening the screws. Many of these processing companies are tightening the screws on us. And so I really think, and Goddess Starr and I have talked about this before, we need our own stuff. It would be nice if we had a credit card processing bank or service that catered to us as witches or metaphysicians, light workers, whatever you term yourself as. If you're making your living doing something using your craft, then we have just as much right as any other business person to be able to accept credit cards and debit cards instead of now, because hardly anybody carries cash anymore. You don't really see a lot of people pulling cash out. Most people just, pull their cards out. It effectively is a way to put us out of business, is really what they're trying to do, is to get rid of it. And I know it's part of the Trump administration that's doing it, because before everything was fine. And so, I think that we need to have our own banks, our own everything. But I'm very concerned about the corporate America pushing us out and
Right.
not allowing us to accept credit cards. Now, I have no idea how to start a bank or start any kind of thing, but maybe, you guys, especially you young people out there who are all tech savvy, much more than I am, there's got to be someone out there who knows how to do this and set something us up that allows us as witches to sell our craft. Because if it comes down to no one's going to let us take credit cards anymore, we will essentially be put out of business. Really, we will. You won't be able to do your long distance clients. And I had an issue with PayPal. I've used PayPal for years and years, never, ever, ever had a problem, ever.
Me too.
And one day, this woman, she ordered a reading from me, just a little half-hour reading. And then when she got her credit card bill, she said she didn't know who I was, that it was unauthorized.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called her up and I said, why did you say that? Why did you do that? And she goes, well, because I needed money for to pay my bills or something. I needed that money back. And I said, yes, but you damaged my reputation. And now I'm out that money because PayPal, when they saw what the service, they asked me what was the service. They saw what the service was. They refused to back me. They just gave her money back out of my account. They pulled it out of my bank account.
Yeah.
They gave it back to her. Now, to be fair, a few weeks later, she did come back and pay me, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point of the matter is
PayPal, period.
PayPal has this thing that says that you are protected as a vendor. They protect you with your sales and things like that, and they will back you up. Unless you're a witch, then you have no protection from them. It's like, well, sorry, you're on your own. And they just snatched that money back. That enraged me that they did that. That just enraged me, because if I was a different type, if I was, let's say, a psychiatrist or, something else, they would have backed me. Because it says if you use PayPal as a vendor, it'll tell you that you're covered, you're protected. They'll back you up. And once they found out that I was a witch, it was like, no, we're not going to be backing you up. And they just took the money out of my account and gave it to this woman.
Well, I think part of it is with PayPal, because PayPal, one thing I call them and I talk a lot to them. And part of it is not being necessarily a witch as much as being the service that you're providing. Tarot has been given a bad name service-wise. And there's a lot of charlatans out there that unfortunately they hurt the business. So they're not seeing you. They don't know you. They're not seeing you as whether you're a charlatan or not. They're seeing you as, in general, they get a lot of complaints like this. So right away, it's not the witchcraft part, because I sell a lot of things with PayPal as a witch. And it says witchcraft or whatever it is, and I've never had an issue, except with one person who was at an event that I physically was at, and she lied and said that she was not, which now I am, other than drawing blood from you, I'm taking everything from you to prove that you were there. And PayPal said to me, if I had more proof, they would have backed me. So
They're lying. They would not have backed you. I had proof up the wazoo. I sent them pictures of the text setting up the appointment, what she said about it, how she thanked me for helping her, had her name, address, credit card, had everything on there. And they're like, oh no, we're not going to do it. And also, there's also plenty of, like I said, other service providers that, they could be coaches or shrinks or whatever, that probably have stuff and they get back and we do not.
Well, maybe if you remember, you told me one time if you called it spiritual counseling, because it is. Tarot readings are spiritual counseling for us. So
and it is, and that's why I've changed. Instead of saying psychic readings, call it something else. But still, I should have the right to call it what I want to call it.
It's right, but
especially, I would understand, Starr, if I had 1 million people coming in the 10 years that I have dealt with PayPal, this was the only one person, just this one person, that said something
that happened.
Not back me up. They did not back me up.
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Of stuff that I have put through. This one, I would understand complete, like you said, okay, maybe tarot readers or psychics, they have a bad reputation. If I had a bad reputation and, a bunch of people kept coming for refunds, I would understand that. I have never had one person ask for a refund.
But that's what I mean. I don't think
10 years.
I don't think it's you. I think it's the word itself, the word itself. There are so many different things doing, and it hurts us. All those people hurt. Let me see. I'm hearing a bit of feedback. Let me see. Make sure I'm still muted. Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, there are so many people that, I don't mean you, but in general, that give those topics a bad rep. You know what I mean? You and I and the rest of us that are very small, that are giving it that good rep, doesn't cover the amount that isn't. You know what I mean? But I think part of the issue is, yes, I would love to see us start our own thing, but I think part of the problem is, just like they fought for us to have the word Wicca being there as a religion, we have to fight back too. We are a big commodity in money. It may not look like a lot to people, but we are money there too. If we don't fight back collectively and say, because we're all individualizing it and making it where we're fighting it as individuals, and we're not saying let's collectively go after them, like how the queens on Facebook got together and collectively went after Facebook, that Facebook had to leave them with their names eventually. You know, we have to be, as a collective, do something about it and say, look, there are many of us that have these witchcraft businesses that are very reputable. Deal with us as individuals and not as a general group of bad people or people who are doing business the wrong way, because they're just seeing it as, from the business end, they're seeing it as a group of people that are saying tarot readers, and a lot of them are not good. So let's just put them all out of what we're doing. They're not seeing you or me like that. They're just seeing it's called tarot readings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they're seeing it like that, and that's how their business is viewing it. It's as if I'm trying to put myself in their place. If we were the ones judging on that context, because we are in the know on the inside, we can say, well, no, there are some of them that are not. But we also know how many of the gypsy ones we've seen out there that are really taking people to the cleaners. And they use all these means. So of course it's going to have a blowback at some point, you know? So we have to fight it collectively and show that there are all these reputable witchcraft people that are on the good side, that are doing the right things, that are being honest with everyone and being upfront. And that people individually look at them, how we're showing, look at, I even said to PayPal with the one woman that did that with me, I said, look at that woman's track record and see how many others she's done that with.
Right.
You know, because I was highly upset having $150 being taken back from me when I know that woman was there.
Right.
You know, so it hurts us, yes, you know, and we want to get back at people, but I think we are being too much as individuals. We're all treating it as an individual thing, and we have to decide, well, let's fight it the same way Laurie Cabot and all of them of the Awareness League went out and fought in Washington to get our religion have a name there and be recognized as a religion. We have to do it collectively, because I'll tell you honestly, it may, if we started our own, because it's such a minority group when you think about it, they will charge us higher fees. And I'll be honest, I'll stay with PayPal before I go to that. I am not paying higher fees out to anybody just because we're a speciality. You know what I mean? Because if after a while they see they get a lot of chargebacks because somebody, a lot of tarot readers are not being honest, then they're going to take it out of us eventually anyways. So we have to correct the system first before we can even start something for ourselves. At least that's the way I'm looking at it, from the business end of it.
You will never be able to change corporate America's mind about us. That's not going to happen. We have to start our own.
Yeah.
We have to start our own. First of all, I don't have the time, the patience, the energy to go and start fighting with them.
I know. Yeah.
I don't have time for that. I have business to attend to. I want to be able to conduct my business in the way that I do, with very high standards, high quality, and be paid for it, and not have to worry that someone's going to change their mind in PayPal, or corporate America, or whoever it is. And they weren't even talking about PayPal. They were talking about other card processors.
Right. You know what?
Becoming a problem. We need to figure out to do something very quickly, because that's how we make our money.
Right. Well, part of it is, I think, is our agreements with people. I don't think we should do readings and stuff like that for people unless we create an agreement form, a contractually agreement form that they go through. And we tell them, you know, because we can take them to small claims court, whatever it is. But there has to be something that we do, because if we're just treating it as small business transactions. But tarot readings, if you're being an honest group of people, then come up with an agreement of some sort that, you know, maybe you might provide PayPal with, and say, if I have this showing a contractual, is that good and solid enough for that you would back me? Talk to them. I always approach PayPal with everything I do. I call them up. I don't want to go via email or anything. I call them up and I say things, and I say, well, so what can I do? And that's when I came up with different things for my business. I want a picture of their ID card. And then I want to show their faces as this is who they are. All these different things I'm coming up with because I'm not losing that kind of money again. So maybe we can come up with agreement.
I would suggest to protect yourself further that you do use emails, because then you have a written trail of what they said. You could say, well, Mary last week told me such and such, and she could say, I never said that. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah.
I do believe that you should I put everything in email because I want a written record of what you said.
Yeah. But not just that. I have a tendency to, my phone has automatic record. And then afterwards it asked me, do you want to maintain a copy of this or not? Every time I speak to the government agency or something like that, I said, please keep it. I keep records of it, because at any time they could say they said whatever. I said, nope, here, the date and time, and this is the conversation. And that's what I do. I've had to defend myself at Spectrum like that, saying, well, you ordered so-and-so. I said, I did not. And I produced the recording of it. Because they can say, well, you see the issue that happens with those back and forth emails. A lot of people are brilliant at copy and pasting and taking words out of context. And I don't like that. I don't know how to do it, but they certainly know how to do it. But a recording, especially when it's done with an outside company, I can't. There's nothing you can do about that. It is recorded on both ends of what was said. You know, I don't know.
That emails are considered legal service.
Right, they are.
And so you can use that. But you know what? I don't want to bore everybody with our business issues. I just wanted to talk about, we need to do something. Somebody out there that's young enough and knows how to do tech stuff. We're putting the onus on you, because I have no clue. And I'm telling you, I don't know how to do this kind of stuff. I don't. I get very frustrated with tech issues and things like that. But you guys who grew up with this technology, you witches out there, if you can figure something out, let us know. We'd be happy to hear it.
Well, some of them have said things in the chat room if you want to take a look and speak up.
Here, let's see what we got here. Okay, let me go down. Women are catty. Okay, Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Women tend to be catty, you're right.
Women tend to be very catty. Not on my watch. There's Kiki says there's a YouTuber, Be Had a Life, that owns an apothecary. She's a lovely witch, and she has several videos about a witch hunt that's going on now since last year that's trying to block our money. And I'm going to say this, I'm just going to mention it, not for nothing, but I attribute a lot of this to whoever those witches were that decided they were going to cast a spell against Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So they're coming after everybody. Okay, so we've got Salem 5 Bank should so do this. This is from Goddess Jasmine, who says, I don't trust cryptocurrency. It seems flaky to me. Peggy says, that's sad. We can't get the items we need, especially for people like me who don't have access to witchy type things. That's true, because there's a lot of people that rely heavily on ordering things. They don't have it where they are. Arlene says to Goddess Jasmine, cryptocurrency is not the same as credit and debit cards. I've heard of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. I don't really understand how it works, but
me either.
Goddess Jasmine says, don't you know that capitalism is equally as oppressive as communism? I agree.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I know it is something altogether different. I just don't understand it, other than you don't have to deal with conversion rates. I wonder what PayPal would do to an LGBT business. I hope that they would not be discriminating against that as well, because that would really
I don't think they would. You see, the thing is, LGBT would mean that they're being against a certain group of human beings, and that's a popular one compared to witches. See, there's a difference with what they consider popular. Witches are not popular. They never have been. So them being against us would be like if they'll find some sort of a flaw or something like that within our whatever it is that we have. That's why I have a tendency to present things to them beforehand, just to try and see.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got Goddess Kiki, who says, that's a wonderful idea, Goddess Rhonda. Bank for regular tax bracket magicians, LOL, because personally, I believe all the major banks are owned and operated by major magicians already. Truer words, where you are right. I am so right there with you, Goddess. I am so with you on that. I am so with you on that. Jasmine says, kind of like the storefront gypsy fortune telling parlor. I should say, just for everybody out there who doesn't know, because I only found this out recently, that calling someone a gypsy is considered now to be a very derogatory term.
It is? I didn't know that.
Gypsy, actually, I don't really understand it, because gypsy actually is short for Egypt. It means they came originally from Egypt, hence gypsy. But I guess because they, people make fun of them or downgrade them, they want to be called Romanians now. So just so that everybody knows, let's not call them. We want to respect that. I didn't know that either until very recently, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that.
Because the woman in East Village said that she was a gypsy. I didn't call her that. She said that, so that's what I called her.
Yeah. Well, maybe now, just because some people don't like it doesn't mean that, if you talk, we have a lot of Native Americans here, and a lot of them don't want to be called Native Americans. Because they said anyone who's born here is a Native American. They want to be called Indians because it means that they are indigenous to this land.
Okay.
So but you never know. But then other people, they prefer, you never know what people are going to like. I try to respect everybody as best as I can.
Yeah.
As best as I can.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've got Kiki, who says they're just not into sharing. Got that right, Goddess. We've got Goddess Jasmine, Boardwalk, fortune tellers. Goddess Veronica says, my supply store has to go by life coach. I can dig it. Reader, advisor. I mean, you have to kind of play with the wording to make it acceptable. We have Peggy, who says, all it takes is one person to complain nowadays, and they will jump right on that.
And that's not fair, because that one person taints your name. I get really highly upset because I'm like, wait a minute. I gave you whatever in good faith, and you are going to taint my name. I don't like my name being tainted because I know I follow through with everything with everyone. So I get highly upset.
And then we've got Goddess Kiki, who says, Peggy, what do you mean you don't have access? Girls, she blew out the girl, so I have to say it right. Girl, go to your kitchen first, then thrift stores, Goodwill, even Walmart. The joy of witching for me is that all we need is all around us. Quite frankly, I find that the Dollar Tree is a treasure trove of things. I love the Dollar Tree.
And I love vintage shops. Vintage shops has the coolest things.
Love them.
Oh my gosh. I have found things that they think are just cups, and they're chalices or athames and shit.
Oh, they've got the most beautiful.
They've got amazing stuff that you can use, and you're like, oh, I've got all my old stuff. Yay!
And then we've got Goddess Jasmine says, in Salem, all tarot readers, diviners have to register with the Chamber of Commerce and have to be evaluated in order to get a license to operate. Wow.
Yeah, that will work in Salem. It will not work anywhere else.
It's not going to work anywhere else. That's just a way to get money.
Because you know what it is? I think it's because it's the hub of witches, so that's why they try to get them like that. But that is not going to work.
Yeah, the only reason they're doing that is they probably have to pay a fee. It's to make money. It's so they can make money.
That's all. The only reason that they make people do that, Chamber of Commerce's and all of that, is money.
They just want the money.
Yeah. The same thing with at one time, you could vend on the street, and other than paying the company that you're vending for, there was no other fees. Then recently, when Bloomberg was in New York as the mayor, he created the $10 permit fee. Now, remember, I have to tell everyone that vends, they have to get that $10 permit done. Again, that was to make money for New York City. It has nothing else to do with anything else but money.
It is. It's all about money. It's all about money. They did the same thing to us. We used to have our Pagan Pride Day, no problem. And then a few years ago, suddenly we had to pay a $35 license fee in order to be in Pagan Pride to the city. So it's just to make money.
Yeah.
We've got Kiki, who says, there's no aggression in my question. I'm truly asking. I'm an ideas woman, and do-it-yourself is my specialty. And Goddess Peggy goes on to say, thanks, Kiki, LOL. It's there a little here and there. Funny, some bookstores sell tarot cards and rune stones in the Bible Belt, LOL. Goddess Arlene says the credit card companies are going after those sex workers and sites that are being forced to close down because of new laws. Well, I don't think that they should, I don't think it's really any of their business what someone does to make their money. I guess if they came up with something, maybe you could come up with something different. Like I said, we have to play with our names just to be able to do what we should be
You
able
have
to
to
do.
call it a different name, and then you have to charge tax. Because when you charge tax and you then pass that tax on to them, suddenly you're like acceptable. You're paying my ass off with some tax
They
money.
should call themselves sex therapists.
Yep, anything you want to do like that, I'm kidding you not. You collect a tax and you pay them the tax money. They'll
be your friend.
Yeah, they'll be your friend because you're paying their butts off. It's all about money.
It really is. And then we have Veronica. Goddess Veronica says, I agree, Kiki. Where did the witches shop before? Peggy says, LOL, I actually bought a lot of my crystals and stones at the local park. Good for you. Goddess Veronica says, I just picked up some beautiful stones at the pet store for aquariums. You can get the best rose quartzes at pet stores.
Girl, yay.
And they're really cheap. Goddess Arlene says, totally agree with you, Goddess Rhonda, regarding Trump spell. Cool Flavor. Hello, Cool Flavor. Says, yes, it's a slur against the Romanian people, but they're okay with it, then it's fine. But the case-by-case basis to be safe.
Yeah.
Goddess Jasmine says, yes, Lori Cabot's relative who has Crowhaven has had people Yelp complaints against her. And then she goes on to say, yay, Dollar Tree, and this other dollar store in Lynn where you can get dram bottles and organza bags. Yes, you can get, I love the Dollar Tree. Peggy's agreeing with the Dollar Tree, yay. And Goddess Jasmine says, or like Firefly Companion. So, you know, it's good to, just for us to be aware of what's going on, especially for those of us who make our money this way. It's good for us to know what's going on and know what battles may be ahead of us and to start to prepare for those.
Yeah. That would be a shame, though.
And so the other thing we wanted to just talk about, because I see as usual, the time is flying by, but this won't be too long. We might as well just finish it.
Yeah.
Is should witches wear a secret symbol that identifies them as witches, and what should it be? Now, the reason that I asked this question was I was in the store the other day, and there was a woman who was shopping, and she had on a really pretty sundress. I really loved it. And I said, I love your sundress. And she goes, oh, thank you. I bought it today, and I was showing it off. She felt good. It was her birthday or whatever. And then I noticed that she had a pentagram around her neck, and a pentagram necklace. And I said, oh, I love your pentagram. Blessed be. And she just like straightened up, like she's like, blessed be. And she took off. She couldn't have taken off faster. Oh, like dear. All of a sudden I turned into like some sort of demon or something and scared the shit out of her. All I said was blessed be. Yeah. And she took off like a shot. So obviously she wasn't wearing that because she was a witch. She was wearing it because she liked, you know, wearing a pentagram.
Well, I took it as another way. I took it as she was wearing it because she was a witch, but she did not want to be recognized as that, or she didn't think anyone would know what it is.
Well, first of all, you're in a store wearing it, you know, so it's not like anybody's staring at you. And if you're going to wear it, you know, you would, if you're a witch, if I'm a witch and I'm wearing a pentagram or a pentacle or whatever kind of sign around my neck, I'm wearing it because I'm proud of who I am. And if someone walks up and says, blessed be, hey, blessed be, what's going on?
Right.
I'm not going to expect like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put this pentagram on and no one's going to know what it is but me. Hello, it's a pentagram.
Right. But that's what I mean. Obviously, for her to run, she obviously knew what it meant. If she did not know what it meant, she'd be saying, oh, that's what it is? What does it mean? You know what I mean? She would be unaware, but she seemed aware because she took off. At least that's how I'm seeing it. She
took off like a shot.
She was aware of what it was. She was aware what it was. But it's like she did not expect anyone. It's kind of like being in an area and they're kind of like, oh, I can wear this and no one would know what it is. You know, wearing in plain sight. So like that. But because you brought attention to it. Here
in Albuquerque. I mean, that's just a ridiculous assumption. But if that was her assumption, whatever.
You know what I mean? Because why would she run? Why
Who
would she
knows
run?
what
Is
a
my thinking.
pentagram
You know,
is?
that's my
Whatever.
thinking. That's my thinking because I'm like, why would she run? Because it didn't make sense that she ran unless she was aware.
I used to have
You know.
this little bag I would use when I would vend at festivals. And a lot of people here are really big into the Dallas Cowboys, and their symbol is a five-pointed star. So I bought this little bag, a little pouch that had the five-pointed star, and people would come up to me and say, "Oh, you're a Cowboys fan." I was like, "No, I'm a witch, and I like red." And they would look at me like, "Oh, okay, like, get away from me."
Yeah, but see, but you're
I'll get
brazen.
out
You're
there.
brazen about it. There's a difference. You're
Yeah,
brazen about
I don't care.
give a shit. That's what I mean, So yeah, I think she was aware, honey. I think
Yeah, you know what? You're right. If she took off like that, she was aware. Maybe she
she
thought she was the
knew
only person
because and
who
she
would know
was
what
just
that
thinking she
means.
was hiding in plain sight and no one because a lot of people might go, "Oh, that's a nice star." Well, I even had a guy who was Jewish that said to me, "Is that a Jewish star?" I said, "Absolutely not. It's not 6 points." I said, "Take a closer look. This is not 6." You know what I mean?
Alrighty. But then
So
I started thinking, I was like, what would be cool is if we had our own kind of a symbol where we could identify each other. And, if we had to help each other, like if I saw someone broken down and they had the symbol, I would stop my car and help them. I just thought that would be really cool for us. Like,
but
I know
what would it
a
be
lot of
then?
secret
Because to
societies
me,
have stuff.
the pentagram is that symbol.
Yeah,
If
I
I
would
see
feel
you
it
wearing
too.
it, if I see you wearing it, I am going to think that you must be aware of what it is. Except for the ones that I see that wear it inverted, then I kind of look at them and their t-shirts. I'm going, okay, I don't think they are very aware of what that means or anything like that. But in general, if you're wearing a pentagram, I'm sorry, I'm going to just assume that you know exactly what it means. Otherwise, why wear it? Unless you're homeless on the street and using it because it's clothing. I don't know.
I think we should have our own symbol. I
But
know a
what would it
lot of
be?
secret societies, Mason, they all have different symbols that they have. Why don't we have a secret symbol that only we know what it means, that nobody else knows what it means?
But that's what I mean. You look at the pentagram and right away you think the person is what that to me that is the symbol. Don't you think? I mean, whenever you see it, you instantly think that. And we're the only ones that know. Except for people on the street that, oh my God, it's the Satan. And they go like that. I'm like, are you totally serious right now? Your ignorance is showing here. And I would say that shit. I would say it straight up. Your ignorance is really showing. Go educate yourself, please. And I walk away.
I don't understand why she ran away.
Because she knew and she didn't want to have to say anything or didn't expect you to know. Especially, I guarantee you, was she white? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to use the race thing. She was white and you're black. Majority of black people are not accepting themselves as witches. And they're just not, or they would say to us, like, why are you a witch? You're black. You have had that happen. I know I've had it happen to me. So I'm sorry. Here you are saying, blessed be. So my powers of deduction.
I was just like, wow, I was so offended. I mean, she left me standing there. I mean, she took off with her shopping cart, left me standing there. And I was like, I like it when I see other witches. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Blessed be, bond.
Yeah, girl.
A little bit.
No, it was a race thing because she didn't think you would know. And and then on top of that, she didn't think you would know.
That's just craziness.
Yeah, but tell me, people, what do you guys think? Look in the chat room and see what they think.
I want us to have our own secret symbols and like Goddess Starr said, okay, that should have been the symbol, okay? I just feel like we should have something that we can identify ourselves. Like in this book that I was reading about these swingers, they would go grocery shopping and they would take a pineapple and turn it upside down. And then if you saw that, you could be identified by other people like that. We should have something like that.
Well, what though? Because the minute I see a pentagram, I'm thinking you're a witch, man. That's my symbol. I know it. I'm like, all right. And I know the different ones, or I can tell, and it's funny, I can tell certain ones that really are unaware of what the symbol is and they're wearing it.
Yeah.
They're totally unaware. And I'm like, okay. I don't even go into conversations or, oh no, my friend gave it to me. I thought it was so cool. And I'm like, okay then.
All righty. All right. Well, Goddess Starr, why don't you finish up by telling us what's happening in our chat room, because we've got a bunch of comments in there.
Okay, let me go see. Okay, she said, girl, go to your kitchen first, then thrift shops. Okay, so she said the girl part. She actually went, girl.
She said, girl.
Okay. Okay, and then that what Jasmine Moonglow said about Saint Salem, and then hold on, Kiki said, sorry, okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. Kiki Starr says, and there is no aggression in my question. Okay, she already asked that. I remember that. No aggression. Ideas. And then Peggy Diaz said, thanks, Kiki, LOL. Is there a little here and there? Funny, some bookstores sell tarot cards. Okay, you said that. The credit cards. Okay. Okay, I must be way up there.
We're at where it says, or like Firefly Companion, right beneath that.
$8 Okay, there we go. Or like Firefly Companion, LOL by Kiki Stars. Jasmine Moonclough says maybe she's in the broom closet. Maybe she's in the broom closet. And then Bella Crone says that's too funny. And then Jasmine Moonglow says, or she didn't want attention called to her. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And Arlene said, I always ask if the item means anything. There are people who wear different items just because it is cool.
Oh, okay. That might be a good way to do it. Just say, what does that mean?
And then Jasmine Moonglow said, I see people who, to me, wouldn't know what it means wearing them. Yeah, I've seen some because you can kind of just tell. They, they just thought it was cool or something like that. And then Arlene says, I agree. She was definitely aware. And then Jasmine Moonglow says, actually, a pentagram is a seal of Solomon.
Yes, it's the original seal of Solomon actually was a pentagram.
Right. And then Veronica says, Goddess Rhonda outed her.
Sorry. Well, look, if you're going to wear it, I'm going to say something.
Yes, she did. And she hauled ass. And then Peggy says, if you're wearing a pentacle, you're putting it out there.
That's right.
Yes, exactly. Then Kiki says, it would be really cool. I'm solitary myself, but for special occasions or events, I would wear it. And then Jasmine Moonglow says, so yes, it can also be another Jewish star. No, it's not. Okay, pentagram is also found on Morocco's flag. Oh, it is cool. And then Jasmine Moonglow says, hold on, it's moving up. Oh, it moved up a bit. Oh, I hate that.
I know, it's very annoying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get admin back up. Damn it. Okay, I'm trying hoping. You'd be surprised, and Jasmine Moonglow says, you'd be surprised here in Boston how many wear it not realizing. And then she says, triquetra or a spiral or a Willendorf goddess. I have, and then Peggy Day says, I have a pentagram necklace. I don't wear it because I don't want people to judge me. And then Jasmine Moonglow says, maybe there can only be one witch in town.
I guess she thought she was the only witch in town.
That's funny.
Hello.
If you think that, then she, if that's what she really thought, then she's lost her damn mind. Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe like in what was that one where there can be only one.
Oh, what was that movie? It was
Immortal. The Immortals or whatever it was.
I'll think of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then let's see. I think you should make a sigil, Goddess Rhonda, and let your group. That's being said by Kiki, and let your group be a part of the process, or just let it be known to the fam what it means. Okay, and then Jennifer says, "Girl, you so right, Goddess." I don't know what I said. That was right. And then Veronica says, "I know more black witches than white ones." Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Because in general, oh, no. And black people in New York, when they hear I'm a witch, they're like, "Are you trying to be a witch that's white? Are you white?" I'm like, "Oh my goddess." The ignorance. I'm like, "Oh my goddess, stop. Just stop." And then Jasmine Moonglow says, "I have a witch cashier at my local Shores supermarket in East Boston."
Cool.
Oh, that's cool. And then Arlene says, "Many groups do have their own personal symbols." And then Jasmine Moonglow says, "I have a witch cat." Oh, and that's already said. Ah! Oh, wait. And then, damn it, why is it going up so fast?
I told you, it does this all the time.
And then Jasmine was saying, he was like, "Girl, where did you get that backpack?" Okay. And then Jennifer says, "I've had that happen to me before, or look like you're going to testify at them or pull out a chicken and..." Jennifer, you awesome, girl. That's funny. Okay. And then Highlander, yes, the Kiki.
Highlander,
Kiki.
yay.
Thank you, Thank you, Kiki. Highlander. There can be only one.
That's right. There can be only one.
Yes. So Jennifer and Kiki both said Highlander, and then Veronica said Highlander too. And then Patricia Tracy said, "Hey, my broom is still in the closet, LOL."
And you know what? And that's okay.
That's okay, girl. Do whatever you gotta do, and maybe one day you'll take that broom out of the closet and go, "Hey, I'm here. See me roar."
Exactly. But I'm going to tell you, if I see you on the street wearing a pentagram, I'm going to walk up to you.
"Hi, girl. How are you doing? Blessed be."
I can't believe you should have seen her.
To me, that's
took her card and ran away from me. I was just like, well, wait a minute.
You scared her. You had no right scaring her, girl.
Jeez.
Honey, she was aware and she ran.
Right. She did not run.
Like I forgot who said it, but you outed her. You called her out, girl, and she's like, "Shit."
Well, what do you expect if you're wearing it? Come on.
Because you know what? A lot of people are still in the closet, and she might have thought you would not know. And if you did know, you would not say it out loud. Instead, you're going, "Blessed be, girl." You're all out. And she's like, "I am not out like that, okay?"
Sorry. Jeez. All right. Whatever.
Girl, I told you I had this guy. I'm walking on the streets in New York, and this is New York City, and people are in the closet like crazy. And he walked by in his beautiful suit, Armani or whatever. And because you know me, I'm all open, all out like that. And he said, "Blessed be." And I did not realize until he walked past me, and I was like, "Oh, blessed be to you too." But he was like face turned the other way. Like he was just acknowledging, like, "Blessed be," and I'm gone. He did not want to look sideways or anything other than like, wow, it was like a hit and run. Like a drive-by, blessed be.
Wow.
I was like, okay. You know, he acknowledged it. He's like, "Well, if you're out like that, more power to you, blessed be."
At least he acknowledged you.
Yeah. And he just walked by really fast. I'm like, okay. I'm good like that, because people hide. They're in powerful jobs, and they would lose that job, that power, that whatever it is, because of their religion.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not one of the popular religions of the big ones, and people are still very hidden. They have to be for their financial welfare. You can't.
A lot of them are very conservative.
Yeah, it's not even conservative per se. For their financial situation, they have to provide for their home, they pay their rents and all of that, and they're not in the position we're in to be able to say, we own our shit, whatever it is, and we don't give a shit.
Right.
And to them, they can lose that job, or they can. I know a lot of them that are judges and lawyers and whatever it is, and they cannot say it. They
Right.
put it in their clothing and they hide it. And here I am, all like, hi.
Hey, I'm
I
right out
don't think
there.
about it. I don't think about it because I've always been out. When people ask me about being out of the broom closet, I'm like, what do you mean? Because I never was in the closet. I was just out. So I never thought about it. But, when I sit back and look at how many people I know that are in the closet, it's what it is. This is how they have to maintain.
Right. I mean, people have to do what they have to do,
Yeah, to each, again, this is a situation that's to each his own.
Right. All right, then. Well, I know that we stretched this out a little bit longer, but got to start for once we finished a whole show. We finished it.
All the questions without
We
saying part
finished
2
it.
is
I'm
coming.
so proud. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of us.
Yeah.
So anyway, as always, you know how much we love you guys. I know that we also have a lot of people who don't engage in the chat room for whatever reasons. That's cool too. And we also have a lot of people that aren't available at the time of when we do our show live, and they come back later and view it, the archived one. So I want to tell you guys also how much we love and appreciate you, even though you can't be with us when we're doing the live show. We are aware that you do come and watch it, and we are very grateful and honored that you take time out of your day to come and sit with us and talk with us, or at least if you can't talk with us, listen to us and join in that way. So we just wanted to say we love all of you, our live people, our archive people, and we are so grateful to you for your support, for your help, for walking this journey with us. And so we just wanted to say we love you. Mwah.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for everything.
You so much. And
I know we have full moon coming up, so blessed full moon.
Blessed full moon.
I think, wait a minute, the 4th. Oh, wait a minute. No. We're coming back on the 4th. And oh, right. No, Beltane is the 1st. So, yeah.
Right.
Happy Beltane. And we will still bring some of that fertility into the show on the 4th, which is on the Friday. That's the only time we have our Midnight Margarita show kind of a thing, at midnight on Friday. I think that's the 4th, right, hon?
Yes, that's the 4th. And it will be midnight East Coast time. If you're on Mountain time, it'll be 10. If you're Pacific time, it's going to be 9.
Yeah. So that on that's the only time we have our Midnight Margarita Friday night show. And then the following Monday the Monday right after that we don't do because we're doing the Friday. So we will see you guys then. Mwah! Love you guys.
We love you. And with that said,
Jasmine Moonglow says, hey, Starr, I'm coming to New York City the week of the 25th. I hope to see you. Yes, I hope you come down and see us, okay? We have our full moon on the 29th. You're welcome to join us at the full moon celebration and just say, hi, I'm Jasmine Moonglow. And I'll give you a hug. I can't wait to see you. I hope you can be there, all right?
And with that said,
yes, merry meet.
Merry meet.
Merry part. And merry meet again. Thank you, lovely goddesses.
And we'll see you next week.
Yes. See you guys. Love you guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.